Alright, I've been having the itch for some big mana, and we're going to do that today. This is not going to be mono green, it's going to be mono black devotion. This is a pretty fun one. We do a very similar thing using Nykthos Shrine to Nyx in order to make a bunch of mana, but in black there's also a lot of cards that actually do care about your devotion. Namely, Gary, Grey Merchant of Asphodel. On ETB, drain your opponent for X, where X is your devotion. This is pretty nice. Luckily, he counts his own 2 devotion, so sometimes this can be really, really large. Commander staple here because this is just your life gain is equal to the total amount of life loss. So if you have multiple opponents, it does scale. Pretty good card. We also have Consuming Corruption here, a card that also cares about the number of swamps that we control, not necessarily devotion, but very similar. This is just some good life drain in the early game to keep you afloat and make sure that your opponent's things are dead. And then after that, there's things like Shieldred gains some life, March of Wretched Sorrow, one of the other ones. This basically allows you to pitch your black cards as well and gain some extra life. We are a Necropotence deck. We want to get this thing out very early and use our life total as a resource to draw a bunch of cards. We want to be able to set up before our opponent kills us and get moving. Necropotence and Underworld Dreams are our big targets for these devotion enablers, as both cost 3 black pips. And yeah, so once we have all this mana, a lot of things that we can do. We have Karn. Karn can go in, find a lot of good things. We can find a Godpharaoh statue, Chalice of the Void to take them off their combo if they are a combo deck. We can find our 1 ring, start to draw, and basically the name of the game is get a bunch of things onto the battlefield via lots of card draw and just having mana left over. Drop our Necropotence, Underworld Dreams, and then find our Grey Merchants eventually and get in for the kill. So when we don't have all that mana, we're basically playing a control game and trying to make sure that we survive, get the Karns down, any artifact mana that they have, we want to shut that off. We want to remove things with Consuming Corruption, Shieldred's Edict, our Fatal Push, one of March of Wretched Sorrow, basically doing things to keep our life total up, keep things out of our opponent's off their board. We also run Vexing Bauble here to get ahead of Omni Show and things like that. Make sure that any sort of unfair strategies are punished, whether this be pitch spells or the aforementioned Sneak and Show stuff. All right, so Dark Ritual is also in here to accelerate out our Necropotences. Demonic Tutor here just because we're in Timeless and we can play it. 2 main deck Chalice of the Void in addition to the 1 in the sideboard because sometimes we need to just turn off 1 mana spells like Reanimate. And then it's notable that we have Shieldred plus 1 ring as an option. Only 2 Shieldreds in the deck, 2 main deck 1 rings, and 1 in the sideboard for the Karn. Overall, just some standard mono black gaming. We are going to actually add some important swamp-related lands into the deck as well. Basically just 2 Lochthwains. That's all that I really care about. I suppose we can also do, where are they? This is actually slightly incorrect because we need to drop a few of the 4s here. I'm going to get rid of going like this. We actually need to have a few Bowmasters because this is timeless. If I can just spell it correctly, there's our Bowmasters, and then the Bowmasters pair very well with our Phyrexian Towers, which I'll be adding 2 of. So we do this, find Bowmaster, and the deck will be ready to go. And then I need to cut 1 more card. We will go with maybe 1 more Underworld Dreams here. That's just for extra devotion and to eventually kill our opponent. All right, with this, we have a devotion deck ready to go. Let's hop into some Timeless games and see if the deck can hold up. Make sure to like and comment on the video before we do, and subscribe for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll see you guys in there. All right, it's round 1. Let's see what we can do. Not much that we can do with a turn 1 Chalice on 0 and 1 mana. I think this is going to be a mulligan. 2 mana here, we eventually get the Necropotence. Turn 1 Vexing Bauble is kind of nice. I will keep this. And then we'll keep Underworld Dreams for devotion and drop the Karn. Here's Vexing Bauble. If it turns out that they're not on this, the Vexing Bauble is a redraw, which is nice. So very flexible card here. You'll love to see it. All right, let's see what opponent's first play here is. Godless Shrine looks like it's probably not what I think it is. Okay, Ocelot Pride, sure. This means that the Lockthwain could be used to kill the Ocelot Pride at some point. I think we do want to make sure that that thing's gone before it's able to trigger. Probably just going with the March here, and the question basically is, do I March pitching a card and draw with Vexing Bauble, or do I not do that and just March that for 1? I think it'll depend on what else they play this turn. Alright, looks like this is going to be the standard Mardu deck. So they're going for another Ocelot Pride here. I think then that means I need to kill the first one. I'm kind of interested in drawing a land here and dropping a Necropotent. So I think I will do this exiling. We'll do X equals 2. Let's pitch an Underworld Dreams here. Targeting Ocelot Pride. And Vexing Bauble is good for countering the dragon thing, the dinosaur Marauding Raptor. Sorry, not Marauding Raptor, the other one. Amped Raptor. But I think probably the card draw is better for me right now. We do need to get that third land, and this definitely changes a lot if we're able to find the third land. Okay, that's a Bowmasters. That kills Ocelot Pride, so it's something. Double Bowmasters here is pretty solid. Let's do that. We can wait until combat even if we want. Opponent's holding priority for some reason. I guess it's just their fetch land. Well, if they're gone, they're gone. And we're finally back. All right. There's Bloodstained Mire as advertised. You got it. Let's see if they'll draw some cards for any reason. I assume this will just be the standard Mardu deck, so I can just not really hold up Bowmasters for any of that stuff. Surveil here. Hopefully they do not find something they like. Darn. Aether Hub. Alright, I think we're going to kill after combat, or like in combat. Target Pride. Maybe Galvanic Discharge is what we're seeing priority held for here. Second main, what'll they play? Okay, Amped Raptor, so now I'm kind of wishing I had the Vexing Bauble here. How bad are we getting ruined for this? It's not the end of the world. Chthonian Nightmare is really just moving things back and forth from the graveyard until they can make some tokens. We get this here, we can go Necropotence. We can have shields down for a little bit potentially. Let's take a 5 to 7 card draw here. Probably 7 here. That'll give us 2 land discards potentially. Potentially thinking 8, but we'll probably go with 7 here. I think 7 is pretty solid. No attacks are necessary. We'll end turn, putting the cards in the hand and discarding the hand size. Shieldred's great. Consuming Corruption's great. The One Ring's great. Dark Ritual's great. March of Wretched Sorrow's great. Oh man, so many good cards here. I almost would get rid of the Grey Merchant here since that's not what we're casting right now. So maybe 1, maybe 2 Consuming Corruption's kind of a lot, so I think we'll go down like that. We'll need to remember that we have 3 more Garys? 3 more Garys in the deck. Alright. So we just got a rejuice. Thinking that this is pretty good. So we're going to have 6 mana next turn. That's 1 ring plus Consuming Corruption if I need to remove a permanent. Seems pretty solid. We easily just take 2 here, I think. Second Bowmasters also takes out the Amped Raptor. Here's the Ajani. Fine. We have ways of dealing with this guy. They can Chthonian Nightmare, flip the Ajani, but they're going to give me my turn back. Okay. So we'll drop our land. We will probably just need to deal with the Ajani, so that's unfortunate. Chthonian Nightmare is activation only as a sorcery. I do have 2 things to kill Ajani with, so we'll need to start with that. So here's Dark Ritual. Make our mana, use it for consuming corruption. If Ajani dies, then we're good. Otherwise, we have to do some March of Wretched Sorrow stuff. Got it. Let's make them waste another card here. I think I pitch a Bowmasters to March of Wretched Sorrow. And I also want to make sure that this cat is not left around, because with Chthonian Nightmare, that's a problem. Oh, we actually get this to do its thing. So with 4 mana left, I think actually One Ring is not really the play. It's going to need to be Orcish Bowmasters in March. So we'll do Bowmasters now, hold up March. Okay. And cool. That'll be enough to take round 1. I'm completely fine with that. Was definitely not feeling confident with the matchup, but with some of the decisions made, it turned out to be okay. Good round 1. Here comes round 2. All right, here we go. So there's an early Dark Ritual into One Ring if we really wanted it. I could be down, actually. Let's try it. Opponent makes a creature. We go land, Rit. Nice. That felt pretty good. Alright, so no one's really doing anything. No one has any cards, but I have a One Ring. That was a great interaction for me. They've got a Dark Rid of their own. Let's see what it will be. A Shieldred would be pretty gnarly here. Ooh, 3 True Battalion. Let's go. So, Swamp, Monaco Influence. We're seeing at least Orzhov. Let's start with the One Ring in case that's a Bowmasters. Bauble, maybe not so useful in this situation. Marionette Apprentice. Ooh, I love that. That's actually super good. This is a very good Aristocrats card, actually. In one of my previous videos, I have used 3 True Battalion for a cat deck, but I really do love that used on Marionette Apprentice, and probably Blood Artist as well as in this deck. Oh, we might be looking at something cool here. I'll move to my turn. Take some damage. I will probably do my draws first. We are good on lands here. We're going to be able to hit Necropotence eventually. So I'll hold on the Nykthos. We'll go Vexing Bauble here. I probably just use it to redraw. But our life total is looking a little bit iffy here now, because we are going to need to also pay with Necropotence and lose life to the One Ring. Okay, so draw first. Shieldred eventually is nice. March of Wretched Sorrow is pretty solid too, though. So we can pitch our Grey Merchant, since that's not really being used right now. I'll go off of Dark Ritual as well. We know that they play a lot of 2-drops, so potentially Chalice on 2 is an option once our life total is a little bit more stable. Oh, we gotta go Dark Ritual first. Drop Necro. Then we go March. And so should we pay 2 or 3? Because we can redraw with Vexing Bauble. So I'll go 2 here, pitching Gary. Target the original Marionette Apprentice. Go back to 15. And then we will take 4 cards here. Alright. Cool, so we're going to be effectively at like 6 or so. I think, yeah, Chalice, not really a good play right now, so we'll not bother. I could even drop a Chalice off, actually. Necropotence. So I go Necropotence is essentially... Oh, it's not going to essentially be free for this turn, so I have to discard 1 card. Maybe it's just the basic. Alright, we'll do that. I'm going to be effectively at 4. But we can go Karn into backup 1 ring, which is nice. Collected Company, oh man. Yeah, Collected Company and 3 True Battalion is pretty crazy to see together. We might be dead. Oh, Nazgul, let's go. I love Nazguls. Alright. They make that legendary, sure. We got some Wraiths now. Alright, we get hit for our 3. And we have some Nazguls to not die from. So yeah, it's going to definitely be Karn. I actually don't know if this totally works out for me. So we go here. Lose some life. We'll draw with the 1 ring. No shield rig yet. This March of Wretched Sorrow is pretty huge. So I have Nykthos. I need to reserve some mana for it, unfortunately. So does this work, actually? I don't think it does. I'll need to March of Wretched Sorrow pretty heavily here. And actually, even then, it might not work. Alright, so what's the play here? I gotta play one of these Nykthoses. It ramps me a mana. I will need to March of Wretched Sorrow for, I guess, pitching both Necropotences, which is a problem. That's not good. I can also just go to my end step after drawing 3 with Necro. We do need to get a Karn, though. I'm not sure I see that we get out of this. Okay, so yeah, I don't think that this is going to be quite winnable. So I guess we go make mana. Karn actually taps me exactly. Yeah, that sucks. So I think we go Necropotence, draw 3 cards, march as best we can, and then hope to survive a turn. No, I think we have to play Necropotence, get in Nykthos a little bit more strong here. Then we go to 1, and we see what we can find. It is not really looking good though. Alright, we're gonna hold priority on our end step. We did not hold priority, so that's unfortunate. We will discard 5. This was actually not so bad because I'd be able to get 2, 4, 6. That kills 1 Nazgul. I'm at 7. But then we go back to 6, then we die. So it's all good. It didn't really matter in the end of it. We'll just discard 5 cards here and say go. We'll stop holding full control as well. Opponent will take this one. So this puts us down in round 2. We'll have round 3 coming up right on next year. Very, very cool, though, to see Collected Company and 3 True Battalion together. They'll even get another one here. Sure. Another Nazgul. Nice. Yeah, that's pretty huge. Nazgul's getting big. You'll love to see it. Alright. Oh my god. Look at them go. Oh, what a beautiful deck. I love new brews with new cards like this. Awesome. Alright, opponent gets in there. Big Death Touchers. We will go to Death's Door here. Alright, super cool deck by opponent. We'll go down to round 2, but round 3 is coming up, and we'll have a shot at redemption. Okay, it's round 3. Opening hand has that Vexing Bauble. We have Orcish Bowmasters and a March. It's alright. We get to work a little bit on our Devotion. And hopefully this Vexing Bauble is a problem for the opponent. No Grief Reanimate. Misty Rainforest, that could indicate Omni Show. You'll love to see it. Arboreal Grazer. Nope, it's going to be Prime Time. Sure. Flare of Cultivation potentially on the menu here. I think March of Wretched Sorrow is just going to have to stick around. We'll drop the Bowmasters as well soon. Probably this turn. I don't think they draw very much in this deck. 3 mana. Stone Rain. Oh, we're doing this. Alright. Well, let's get a Bowmasters out. That's something to start with. That means we'll be able to guarantee another Bowmasters next turn, and opponent's got to deal with our board. My turn. Drop a land. Attack in with the 1/1. If they block, we do get to kill it for free, and we end turn. Say go. Alright, can they eat another land here? Luckily, we have one more to work with. Stone Rain again, sure. Bowmasters again. Alright, we got a board here. Move to my turn. Alright, well, we are pretty good at redrawing lands. That much is true. We'll get in here, start to pressure the life total a bit. I think this is probably worth dealing 1 damage for. Nope. Just that. Alright, so now 3-turn clock. And we can survive 1 more Stone Rain if they'd like to put the resources into that. There is a 4-drop that kills a land when it enters. Or I think it's a kicked 3-drop. I'm putting Carnosaur. Oh, they're actually just going to Discover kill me. That's pretty interesting. We'll attack. Actually, it's very good to note that we deal with Discover very well with Vexing Bauble. Sweet. And then Discover does allow you to put it into hand, right? Yeah, you do get to put it into hand, so they will need to choose that. Geological Appraiser, the other part of that combo. Not going to be as good. Rampaging Raptor. Okay. Well, we'll edict that. Opponent sacrifices a non-token creature. Beautiful. And we have a 5-turn clock this time, and now it's actually a little bit better with the shields coming down. Alright, our shields are down. They have 3 cards. What can they do? They'll go to 6 here. And we'll take the win. Alright. Well, that was enough apparently. Vexing Bauble doing work. This is one of those instances where you really don't know how much a card impacted a game unless you can ask the player. And unfortunately on Arena, you cannot. But good round 3. We'll have to take that win and move to round 4. Alright, here we go. Dark Writ into what? Turn 2 Karn, I guess? I think that's worth it. Turn 1 Vexing Bauble, though. Let's see if that's a problem for the opponent. Seeing Scalding Tarn, I kind of think, is it Phoenix at some point? It could be like Grixis, Delver. Is it Phoenix, maybe? Oh, blue-white, never mind. Jeskai Control, possibly? If it's Jeskai Control, we want to hold on to Bowmasters. I think that this Karn is probably not so good of an idea then, so I'll hold it. Alright, see if they go for the Brainstorm here. Alright, we get to go to ours, fine. Eventually I will be able to hardcast this Karn. Chalice for 1 is an option. I don't really know what they're doing here. I think Chalice on 2 could be really good if this is a control deck. Other than that, I don't really know. So I have 5 mana if I Dark Ritual. Unfortunately, not enough. We can next turn try to go Chalice on 2 and then Bowmasters after. Alright, and this might be one of the situations where Vexing Bauble's doing a lot of work and we just don't realize. Okay, so we can attempt Karn. I think we probably just attempt Chalice on 2. So we'll go Writ. See if ritual resolves. Does. Chalice for X equals 2. Probably a counter if they have it. Sounds about right. They're going to get a lot of mana off of this, though. We'll unturn here. Yeah, that's 8 mana to work with here. Probably something good. We have to drop this Bowmasters now. Hope that it is problematic. Yep, mana drain again, sure. Okay, but likely a lot of this mana drain mana fizzles here, though, which is good. And I think I should be able to resolve a Karn. Cool. Alright, well, that works out. Oh, but I have to now decide between Necropotence and Karn. Well, Karn gets a Liquid Metal Coating, and then they have to deal with that, so we'll do this first. Karn minus. Classic Liquid Metal Coating. Now, I don't know what Planeswalkers they play. It could be Tamiyo, it could be Teferi. I think the easy move is just Liquid Metal here. And then we have Pitch Necropotence in case there's something really bad. I think this next turn we show Necropotence first and then Liquid Metal Coating after. Or maybe we show Liquid Metal, try to get them to counter it. I think actually Necro first is the move here. And then if they counter Liquid Metal Coating, I go minus on Karn for probably for the One Ring. So yeah, we go like this. Start working on that Nykthos mana. Invert Polarity. Hope they don't get this. Thank God. Okay. Then now we go Liquid Metal Coating. We can start to work on their white mana. Or we can start to work on their red mana. I think red mana is better. Alright, cool. So this mana denial engine's looking pretty good here. We should be able to take them off of counter spells next turn, which means that Necropotence gets in. They'll dash Ragavan going for Karn, fine. Oh, they'll actually go for my face. That's a surprise. Grey Merchant of Asphodel, not castable. Beautiful. We actually just naturally draw the One Ring. We'll take off their red. Counter that, fine. So we can go for Necropotence here then, or we can go for the One Ring. I think the One Ring is potentially better. Let's do that. Maybe shouldn't have done that because they have a Ragavan. Chalice doesn't help me here. Tormod's Crypt doesn't do anything. Oh, that's a little awkward. I think that a Chalice on 1 or 2 is pretty strong. I don't know if they have counterspells other than Mana Drain, though. We have to also watch out for Invert Polarity. Yeah, I think maybe it's not Chalice then. Though Chalice on 1 does seem kind of nice. I don't think they're using their graveyard. Okay, maybe this wasn't the best one. I think Godfair statue probably decent though. Draw on the One Ring. Vexing Bauble. I think backup Bauble's a good idea because I can eventually just use one of these for a draw and maintain my wall. So they can't play anything this turn if they want to hold up against the Karn. They could have dropped the Ragavan, or they still can drop the Ragavan. Yeah, actually for that reason, playing the Vexing Bauble was a complete mistake. Alright, well, they're going to kill my Karn here. No, they actually don't. That's crazy. But I think both of us made a misplay there, to be quite honest. Dark Ritual into Necropotence, next option for me likely. Liquid Metal Coating, we're going to take out their Steam Vents here. See if they have another Stifle. So it looks like they want to stifle a Flage trigger potentially. So either they play a spell here. Okay, wow, they will actually do this. Sure. We will take a draw. This is nice. Karn plus. Let's make this a 1/1 that can block. We'll go Phyrexian Tower if we really want mana out of it, or I can go Lochthwain. Let's think about that real quick. They are tapped out, so I could actually just Godfair a statue too. Like, what are the odds they have something that can stop that? And for that reason, I could go Phyrexian Tower, Dark Ritual, getting rid of the Vexing Bauble. I would have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. Plus 2 with Dark Ritual, that's 9, 10. So I think I can do that even without losing my Vexing Bauble. We play Lochthwain, 6 mana, 8. I've done my math wrong. Alright, we just rip a Godfair statue then. Alright, cool. So now that's a good Karn attacker as well. We'll pass. They go to 16, and if we can maintain our liquid metal coating thing, then they should not be able to do anything about it. Stoneforge does not attack. Sure. Take some damage. It's fine. Alright, liquid metal coating. Let's try to take out that steam vents again. Do they have the third stifle? They'll float mana. Karn plus, take out steam vents. And they'll get to do that, sure. Cryptic Coat. I think because Assimilation Aegis is here, I want to use March now. Okay, so that's gone. Now we can go Necropotence, and our life total's pretty good. 3-2 with Ward, that's not the best thing to see. We can try to stop it though with Necro. Good Necro draws coming in. We'll go draw 2. Chalice, not so bad. We can hold some extra mana in Underworld Dreams as well. Let's do this so that we can work on our life or work on getting cards with Necropotence. So I think we go like this. I would like to Chalice on 1 here to stop the Rag. And then we'll draw 7. I think I'll actually draw 6 here. It's fine if we get duplicate lands, but we would be at n-6 life on the beginning of our next turn. But opponent thinks that we do have it. I was definitely getting a little bit greedy there. They either have to attack me, I lose to the 1 ring plus face down card, or they try to kill Karn. Luckily we turned off the Rag Dash with Chalice of the Void, so I think we were alright. This was not so bad. We were able to counter 1-drops and anything that was cast for free. Everything costs more through Godfair statue. They definitely were just under enough sanctions that they felt like they couldn't win it. So good round there. That would be our round 4. Last round coming up now. Alright, last round. Let's try to make it a good one. Early Necro. Consuming Corruption is actually uncastable here. I don't think we can keep as much as I'd like to. Turn 1 Vexing Bauble here. Probably drop back the Gray Merchant of Asphodel. Again, we're going to be pretty much hoping that we draw a land early. Opponent's on Lurrus of the Dream Den, so I think that Vexing Bauble is not really the move here. I think I'm actually going to go to 5. Hoping for more lands, and I do find it. We do get to drop 2 cards. I think Vexing Bauble does not seem to be the move. I do want Fatal Push. I do want Necropotence. But I also do want the 1 ring. I think given that we have Nykthos, I keep Necropotence, but if it was 3 black mana, then I might keep the 1 ring. Cool. Hold up Fatal Push. And we basically just need 1 swamp at some point to cast Necro. Mishra's Bauble? Okay. Wonder what we're seeing here. Guaranteed loss, they say. Big decision here. I wonder what is on top that they're thinking about. All right. We do get to go to our turn. Fisher's Bauble. They saw a Vexing Bauble, and they were thinking about it pretty hard. So maybe I just drop a Vexing Bauble. No free spells, no free lunch. Maybe it's Psychic Frog? Psychic Frog wouldn't care about this. I'm confused why Vexing Bauble is was such a thought for them. And they're clearly holding something up here. Are they really deciding whether or not to Spell Pierce this? That's pretty interesting. And is this really enough to make them forfeit? That'd be crazy. They wasted a whole rope here. Looks like they're back from whatever they were thinking about doing. Tameo, fine. We're definitely just going to kill Tameo here before Brainstorm can resolve. Huge. So that's one of those dealt with. Maybe they can get Brainstorm locked here without lands. That'd be kind of convenient for me. Or if they get Brainstorm locked and I draw a black mana source like I just did, this game opens up quite a lot. Alright, so we take 7 cards here, since we already have a land to work with. And that will be 7. I could think about going for 8, but I'm going to just stick with 7 for now. I usually feel like 8 is the right, or like going to 8 cards is the right amount since we'll end up with a few lands. But really we actually get quite unlucky with how many lands we found here. I think I'm actually dropping Phyrexian Tower. I don't have a creature to sack to it. Alright, we pass. We're going to have a lot of mana soon. Lorien revealed. Sure. We do want to get Underworld Dreams out soon. That'll probably be my next turn's play. That'll allow us to hold up March of Wretched Sorrow. And then the following turn we have Nykthos big mana. Alright, Tameo again. I am worried that I need to deal with a Brainstorm. But luckily Shieldred's Edict deals with Tameo flipped, so this is fine. They're thinking again. All right. And we'll take round 5 seemingly through Vexing Bauble. Who knows if this was actually due to that or maybe opponent was just not really ready. I would have been pretty happy with our next 2 turns. We go Underworld Dreams, threaten their draws a little bit because they clearly do draw a lot of cards in this deck. Then drop another Necropotence. Nykthos would tap for 9 mana, and we'd be on our roll, on our way to victory. I think I'll go for one more quick game here, just because that was a bit early of a concession. The queues have been somewhat long, so we might wait like 20 or so seconds here to find one. But overall, I think the deck has been all right. Not great, but just all right. Maybe this last game can change what we think about that. All right, we want early Necropotence. This is pretty much not that, but Consuming Corruption, March of Wretched Sorrow into eventually a 1 ring plus Shieldred could be nice. I think this works. The Nykthos is tough until later in the game, though. Once again, we're getting a opponent that's taken a long time to figure out what to do. Okay, so this is probably Omni Show. Well, that's a problem. So what do we do about this? Can't really do much other than starting to play our cards. We are not going to have much time here. Vexing Bauble wins us the game. If we don't find it, we lose. Have fun. Alright, do this. Consuming Corruption, unfortunately, not a 2-mana counterspell. Dig Through Time goes away. Looks like there's... So if they did not take Dig Through Time, this is indicative to me of a play pattern where they don't have their third land or they don't have Show and Tell plus combo piece. Regardless, we're kind of starting it a little hot here with nothing in the way of countering our opponent's spells. I think it's pretty likely we lose on this turn, but we will see. If I draw a Dark Ritual exactly, I can get the Vexing Bauble out of the sideboard. Alright. Untapped land. Oh, just assemble the team. Alright, we might survive a turn here. So another Surveil, you got it. Now, I think that it might be Shieldred here. Oh, they're going to Thoughtseize me. I think they take Shieldred here because Shieldred will penalize their draws. They're at 15. If they draw 7, they're dead, but Dig Through Time gets them out of that. Atraxa gets them out of that. It's really just Brainstorm that is a problem. And they're, I think, pretty smart to do that. Now, the question is Shieldred going to matter, or do I need to One Ring and just dig? I think it's One Ring and dig. Alright. Well, shields are down. Let's see if they got it. Assemble the team only. Alright, so they're looking for a protected win here. Draw 2. Bowmasters. So we can do a lot of hating on... we can do a lot of hating on draw here. So this, then hold up Dark Ritual. Alright. We will say go. Here's the Show and Tell. So I think we're actually just putting the Bowmasters out and then using Ritual for March of Wretched Sorrow. Yep. Only 2 choices here. No targets here. We'll choose Shieldred. And do they draw enough cards for me to kill them? Probably not. Alright, there's the Atraxa. Can they whiff hard enough that we're able to make it work? Born Upon a Wind in hand now, Mastermind's Acquisition, and assemble the team. That should be it. Well, actually, they only get Mastermind's Acquisition, so sure. Checking for priority. They go Mastermind's Acquisition. They can gain the 7 life now. They can draw 1 card off Born Upon a Wind, and then they have 3 unknowns. Okay, so I think they're going for a kill out the sideboard. Mastermind's Acquisition, Harness Infinity, or Scholar of the Ages, sure. You got it. I can't do anything about that. Yep. And then you get second copy out the sideboard. Okay, so this is the old Scholar of the Ages Omni Show win. Was able to play around what I'm doing today, so good for them. and opponent will take it here. We'll show them some of the things that were in our hand just for funsies. I will go March of Wretched Sorrow, pitching 2 cards, so that's X equals 6. 1, 2. And we can only kill the Scholar. Boom. All right, well, good game, opponent. They'll take us out here in round 5, but we were able to get the first concession in the first half of round 5, so I will take it. All right. And likely this is GG's, Masterminds acquisition number 2. And that will be Approach the Second Sun. You got it. All right, well, that brings us to the end of the Deck Tech. Thanks for taking a look at Mono Black Devotion with me today. Not the best games, but sometimes that's just how it goes. Definitely this deck has a little bit of a mulligan intelligence curve, so to speak. Got to have that early turn 1 Dark Ritual into any one of our 3 drops if we actually want the mana to start flowing. But overall, had some games that did work out. Mono Black hand hate and draw hate is always pretty solid. That being said, make sure to like and comment on the video, subscribe if you're new for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I'll see you guys in the next video.